watched Digimon growing up as a kid. Like, I was a Saturday morning cartoon guy. Digimon was my thing. Me and my friends would sing the theme song on the playground. Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon are the champions. So like, this is a property that has grown up with me, that I grew up with, and it's a part of my foundation, and it is an incredible honor to be able to provide art for it as well. And yeah, I can't wait for you all to watch the dub. Please, please, please go check it out. It's gonna be so good. Everybody sounds so good. We're working so hard, and you know I'm gonna give it 150,000%. I am definitely trying to make this some of my best work. So please go check it out, and I will see you in the digital world. Peace.
Hey, what's up all you Digimon fans? My name is Ben Diskin, and I'm so proud to announce that I voice Agumon and all of his forms in Digimon Adventure 2020. Getting this role means so much to me because I'm basically pulling a reverse Chika Sakamoto. She was the voice of Agumon back in the 90s and then went on to voice Shoutmon in Digimon Cross Wars, or Digimon Fusion as we called it. And I'm basically going in the opposite direction. I voiced Shoutmon in the original Digimon Fusion dub, and now I'm voicing Agumon, baby. So I can't wait for you guys to see this awesome new English dub. We've put so much heart and soul into this thing, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Welcome back to the digital world. Woo!
All right, thank you very much. We received these messages from the US. Right now, they are making the English version of Digimon Adventure, which aired in Japan in 2020. So we had the voice actors, Zeno Robinson, who plays Tai, and Ben Diskin, who plays Agumon, send us their messages. For all of our fans in the US, watch out for more announcements to come.
It's great that both of them do such a wonderful job of capturing the feel of the characters, and their voices fit so naturally.
Definitely. And Zeno, the voice actor for Tai, said that he used to watch the show as a kid.
Amazing.
So he knows the character well.
He must.
Ben Diskin, who played the role of Shoutmon in Digimon Fusion, the same character Chika-san played, but this time he's playing the role of Agumon and gave us such a message. Even overseas, Digimon has seen such an amazing and varied evolution.
Some that watched the show as kids have grown up to become voice actors, right? I'm sure the kids who watch the show growing up will also be the next generation of Digimon creators joining our company.
Right. Digimon is quite popular in many countries around the world. So there's a lot to look forward to.
This is really exciting.
Yeah. So, wrapping things up, we've had a look back at 02, but we can't quite end things without at least briefly touching on the new work. Seki-san, in addition to working on the script of Last Evolution, you also worked on the 02 movie. You can see the poster right behind us. And now, let's take this opportunity to share one illustration with you. Here, take a look. Here we have a rough illustration of the main character, Daisuke Motomiya. Since it's an early illustration, the design will likely change in the end. Still, we have this opportunity, so we wanted to share it with you. What do you take from this, Seki-san?
feel like it's probably winter.
Right, right. Daisuke's wearing a down jacket.
Yes, he's wearing a down jacket, but I feel like he'd wear this in any season, whether spring or fall. Hard to tell.
How about his other outfit?
Well, I'm absolutely certain this shows that Daisuke has given up on his ramen shop and decided to become a sushi chef.
Wait, we did work on the script together, right?
Yes, we did. But you can never tell what'll happen until you see the director's storyboard, right?
Yes. Some people like to change things.
Yes, they do. With ideas from way out of left field.
Anxious.
I'm with you on that point.
So, the next movie takes place in 2012. Since Daisuke seems like he's in winter clothes, maybe it's winter. Plus, we see him in clothes for a ramen shop, so maybe that's a key point.
So he's working at a ramen
Oh,
shop.
come on. You know, don't you?
Yes, I do, but
But you're not quite sure right now.
maybe you're right.
So, that's all that we can share with you about the new movie today.
You're holding back, aren't you?
Yes, I'm holding back a little because I'm thinking maybe we might be able to share another video with you later this year.
For me, personally, I'd be happy to share a bit at a time. Like a minute here and maybe the remaining 2 minutes next month. Oh, come on. Even if it's just only little by little.
Okay, I'll think about it. In any case, I'd really like everyone to look forward to this as well.
That's right.
Thank you very much. Seki-san, thank you for your time today.
It was my pleasure.
This is the end of the Digimon Adventure 02 Corner. But after this, we have a Q&A panel with two directors Seki-san knows well. Masatoshi Chioka from Digimon Ghost Game and Yukio Kaizawa from Digimon Tamers are coming up. Let's tune in together. Chioka-san, Kaizawa-san, take it away.
Enjoy!
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Masatoshi Chioka, series director working on Digimon Ghost Game. Since it's currently on air, there are some things we can't discuss yet, but I hope to share other info.
I'm Yukio Kaizawa, a director from Toei Animation. With Digimon Tamers reaching its 20th year, I wonder if fans still remember, and I'm a bit worried about my own memory too, so it would be great to reminisce together. My comments may have changed from the TV series 20 years ago, but please look at it as Tamers digivolving within me as well. I hope you enjoy our talk today.
The Digimon series thus far is, after all, Digital Monster. I think it's a work with strong monster genre aspects, but Ghost Game focuses on the strange phenomena caused by the Digimon. The story structure focuses prominently on mystery and horror, and after, the monster element enters. So, for the script, I'm writing from a different perspective than the previous installments. The story revolves around the three main characters, Hiro, Ruri, and Kiyoshiro. But it's also about the relationship with Gamamon, Angoramon, and Jellymon. So I hope to show something new and fun as the story progresses, such as their developing relationships with these Digimon. As mentioned earlier, another highlight would be the different facets, different ways the Digimon are handled, compared to previous monster genre styles. For this series, the actions of Digimon cause mysterious things to happen. Compared to previous works, I think this series zooms in on the strange phenomena, which can bring about surprising, unexpected factors and show a new side of Digimon. So, if you can enjoy this variation, I think you can also find different perspectives to be fun. For Digimon Tamers, I was the assistant director for Kaizawa-san, who's next to me now. But I also managed the character settings for the Digimon series at the time. And in the end, it was like fate. I began directing the Digimon Tamers storyboards from, I think, episode 48 onwards. So this was my directorial debut.
Digimon Tamers started in the early 2000s. So that's when search engines like Google and Yahoo became popular. So at the time, it was really hard for me to understand all this net jargon, the system, and how this whole internet thing worked. The most difficult point was figuring out how to alternate the expanding online world with the digital world. So we structured the digital world like this. Global data from the human world became the central main line in the Digimon world, shining like the sun. Data that overflows from the main line piles up to form the digital world. As you know, the internet is the continual copying of data memory. So even if you press delete, data is never completely gone. It just signals that it's okay to overwrite that part. From there, more and more data accumulates, which increases exponentially with the expanding network. It was hard to formulate the digital world version of this network process, but we finally came up with the present image. Regarding items characters use, Pretty Cure, for example, had cute accessories targeted for girls that children would be happy to wear. But with boys, I think it's a bit different, like the goggles Takato wears. It didn't seem right to have him wear something just as decoration. If an item can't be used, it's not interesting. So I came up with using some sort of eye protection when they go between the real and digital worlds. Rika and Henry wear sunglasses. So I was rather particular about item use. Ah, the opening sequence. The opening is the face of the work, so I try to work the theme into it, especially for the first half. As you can see, the kids turn around. At that point, you wonder what's ahead, what's in their line of sight. Then you realize that the children can see the traces of Digimon lurking about the city, including the concept that anyone can become a tamer. I introduced the fun aspect, that anyone can see the Digimon by paying close enough attention. All anime openings follow a similar pattern, where the tempo increases and there's a battle scene from the middle part. I wanted to depict a day in the life of a tamer in these fight scenes. For instance, by overlapping the silhouette of Takato's and the Digimon's calm everyday life on the fight scene, it shows that tamers aren't constantly in battle, but also enjoy their carefree daily lives. So we show both sides by combining them into one. That's what I aimed for in the middle part. Also, you can't see the Digivolution scene in the main episode, but as a bit of fun, I added a Digivolving image from the Rookie period that kind of overlaps with Digivolutions. I think I've depicted the digital world fairly realistically. On profoundness and theme, I guess I wanted to convey realism, sensory or otherwise. Like, Takato plays with Gilmon, like Gilmon is a true friend. I really wanted to share that experience with the audience, so they could get a feeling of what it would be like if the Digimon were actually there. With that starting point, the children grow up. While following their drama, in the end, the story follows through to the death scenes of Jerry and Leomon. So what we did is, by delving into each character and carefully portraying their background, we were able to express their depth even more. So of course, the reality of the digital world is a key aspect, but the dramatic depth and gravity is just as appealing in this series. I saw a bit of Digimon Ghost, and I thought Chioka-san's point of view was great. And speaking of view, it reminded me of how the human eye can only focus at the center with a fuzzy peripheral vision, but we feel as if we've captured the overall view. This is possible because people have subjective vision, meaning they supplement the fuzzy parts with their accumulated data and past experiences. And that kind of bias affects us mentally as well. For instance, when you see abusive comments on social media, that could make you feel scared of the digital world. Then, I thought that emotional fear could manifest like a ghost in the digital world. So in the world of social media, I feel it wouldn't be strange at all for Digimons to exist there. In that aspect, I thought Digimon Ghost picks up on a really interesting point. No wonder. It's directed by Chioka-san. I'm excited to see how the story is going to develop. So there's a combination of three people. There's Takato, who is quite gentle, and Gilmon, who is laid back. At the other end, there's Rika, who's rather strict and is a sore loser. With her is Rinamon, who is serious and reserved. Kind of in between, you could say, would be Henry and Terriermon. And we're not quite sure what Terriermon is going to do. So those were the 3 sets of characters. So regarding the characters' personalities, at the start, each character made one-sided requests about what they wanted. Like, I want this kind of friend, or I want this kind of partner. But as the story progresses, they begin to understand and respect each other. And when the Digimon finally digivolve, their minds and bodies become one. Considering this story content, when we looked at the character settings, we needed to make sure the 3 sets of characters were all different. So that's how we composed the characters.
Well, of course, character settings were naturally the first step in the planning stage for Digimon Ghost Game as well. So, for this particular series, I thought about what direction we should take in developing the relationships between the children and the Digimon. And the first thing that came up was 3 humans and 3 Digimon. I was really determined to stick to that composition, where all 6 characters would be main characters. So what that means is that both the children and the Digimon would be on equal ground. Neither is reliant on the other, and no one is treated like a pet. I really thought that this was a very important aspect from the start. So, with everyone on the same level, the way the characters talked was another big focus point. So, when talking with the Digimon side, the children don't talk down to them, and I intentionally made the Digimon, as seen with Jellymon, talk as an equal to, or even superior to humans. I really wanted to make this a new aspect for this work, and so the rough character idea was set. Of course, each character has their own strengths and weaknesses. Regarding Hiro's background, it was part of his original setting that his mother is off working overseas, while his father is slightly irresponsible and lazy. So, with that kind of family dynamic, he became a dependable kid who always took care of his father. And Rudy is somewhat of an influencer on social media. So, how did Rudy and Hiro get to know each other? Well, Digimon is their common point, and without it, they probably wouldn't have ever met. And I thought the idea of connecting 2 children from different worlds who would never meet in normal circumstances was interesting. So, after thinking about Ruri and Hiro, I wondered what kind of character Hiro's senpai Kiyoshiro would be. In this series, the setting is a dormitory, and Kiyoshiro is the dorm leader. Although he's older, he's a bit eccentric, and the others are annoyed by him at first. Initially, Hiro, Ruri, and Kiyoshiro don't know each other, but they meet through the Digimon. And from there, I plan to create a story where these new relationships develop and deepen. So that's how the character settings were done for 3 humans and 3 Digimon.
The Digivolution Bank is like the main face of Digimon. It's what the children are looking forward to the most, so I think each director stresses over it. And yes, I gave it a lot of thought as well, but I think the first impressions, first ideas that come up are important. I'm sure some can relate to this, but what popped up in my head was the emergence of insects. Emergence, where caterpillars become butterflies. The caterpillar transforms while it is in the chrysalis, and when it breaks free, a butterfly emerges. Its body completely changes into something with different characteristics and abilities. In addition to this surprising factor, what came to my mind was how insects risk everything in this process of transformation. As the digivolution of Digimon is also difficult, I wanted to reflect that critical moment of change, expressing something that could be life-threatening. As the outer layer of the Digimon's skin peels off, a new body is formed inside, but in that moment, it looks as though it's painful. I wanted to add a sense of danger when digivolving Digimon, where doing so may risk their own lives. There's also card slices with the Digivice items. The cards Bandai has come up with are interesting, where a single thin card can't digivolve by itself. You need to divide them into multiple layers. I wanted to show kids that a single thin card has a complex structure with a lot of data. And as I mentioned earlier, the Digimon risk their lives for this. I completed the Digivolution scenes by detailing the uniqueness of the items and digital medium.
For the Digivolution scenes, the flow leading up to each one is related to the character setting. Digimon Ghost Game doesn't deal with the so-called master and servant relationship. I mean, they are equals after all. So then, what does it mean to digivolve? Well, it's when the feelings of both the Digimon and humans are aligned, when they are in sync. The Digivolution Bank and digivolving scenes are based on the concept that the Digimon digivolve because they want to. Of course, it's only natural to want to digivolve in order to get yourself out of trouble. For rookie or champion stages, it's difficult to break through. So, while humans would definitely have a growth period to go through, Digimons can instantly pass this stage through Digivolution. Through Digivolution, Digimon can attain a new form. As a result, this part of their growth is different from before. It's like climbing up to a different stage. What I really wanted to do was to fully portray these elements. The main concept for the current Digivolution system was all about effectively portraying the Digimon's emotions. Well, the show is still currently on air, so I can't really talk about what's going to come. But I can say we're creating a unique series by giving the Digimon the initiative to digivolve. I really hope we can convey that through the Digivolution scenes.
Digimon are, after all, monsters. They sort of resemble wild animals, don't they? This may seem unrelated, but I'd like to share this interesting story. I'm originally from Nagano Prefecture. My father loved going into the mountains to gather mushrooms, bamboo sprouts, and other things. One time, he told me he saw a cute bear cub. So cute, in fact. He wanted to bring it home with him. Suddenly, he sensed danger. He realized the mother bear came back for her cub. His gut told him that he could be attacked by the mother bear. So he left the mountain immediately. This story tells me that even wild animals are really cute when they're little, but their instincts rapidly take over as they grow, and they become wilder and wilder. From that point of view, I was able to envision the Digimon as something like wild children, so it wasn't too difficult to portray that. Still, they're Digimon, so they're made up from the accumulation of data. When their abilities mature, or when their instincts entirely come up to the surface, they're digital beings. So their reactions and development would be completely different from wild animals. I feel that was a difficult aspect to determine, which required a lot of brainstorming and creative ideas.
Okay, so the question is it difficult to create the Digimon with both animal and childlike characteristics? Well, it's not that difficult to anthropomorphize or give them human characteristics. But, as Kaizawa-san just mentioned, there are things we have to figure out first. You need to think about the type of creature it is and what behavioral traits it may have. It needs to have traits like a child, but we can't really treat it like a human child. So with Gamamon, as an example, we need to think about what sort of environment he would live in and how he would respond. In comparison to the digital world, how would they react when they enter the human world? While thinking about these things, if I don't focus on the right points, I end up writing scenarios about Digimon who are like human children, and that just doesn't work. Digimon don't follow the same principles as in the human world, nor do they think like humans. They have entirely different values. So, if you have 10 Digimon, then you'd have 10 with their own unique ideas of reality. 10 different ways of thinking. I write scenarios with the premise that these creatures are completely different from humans, and direct them accordingly. That may sound easy, but this part is quite difficult. When I act as series director, I try to have more character expression sheets on hand compared to other works. I don't limit myself to just samples of facial expressions, but also like to have motion sheets. The main objective is figuring out how to bring the characters to life. Of course, the more materials you have, the more inspired directors can be, and the more animators can gauge how far they can go. They'll say, oh, it's okay to go up to this point. And then the characters become clear. Anime isn't made by one person. Many people are involved. That's why we need to prepare a lot of resource materials, like character sheets with various facial expressions, to help enhance their imagination. Then it's up to directors, animators, assistant directors, and the entire staff to bring the characters to life. With that in mind, the character designer has a bigger workload. But I always request more facial expressions for each character. Especially with Digimon, Unlike humanoid figures, there are a lot of varying facial shapes that need to be figured out and molded. I always like to have character sheets with multiple expressions. So, in answer to the question, the physical aspect may not seem that difficult. But if you focus on the basic concept, it's actually a very difficult process.
Wonderful. はい、ありがとうございました。以上、デジモンアニメコーナーでした。いや、楽しかったですね。
楽しかったですね。
ところで皆さん、デジモン公式ファンコミュニティサイトデジモンパートナーズをご存知ですか？世界中のデジモンファンとつながれるコミュニティですので、この機会にチェックしてぜひぜひ参加してみてください。
So how did you like the Digimon anime discussion? I certainly learned a lot. And speaking of learning, did you know about Digimon Partners, the official Digimon fan community website? If you didn't until today, well, you've been missing out. So check out the website that you see on the screen now.
はい、デジモンパートナーズ内の DP ショップにてデジモンコン記念グッズも販売しておりますので、そちらもぜひぜひ check it out.
So unfortunately, this commemorative item or any of these Digimon Con goods are only on sale within Japan, but maybe others feel the same. And so why not go to Digimon Partners, the fan community site we just discussed, and discuss among yourself.
はい、デジモンパートナーズ内の DP ショップにてデジモンコン記念グッズも販売してます。ぜひチェックしてください。
So unfortunately, again, these event items are not available, but this is a great way to use Digimon Partners.
はい。さあ、ここからいよいよデジモンカードゲーム日米親善バトル後半戦をお送りしたいと思います。
Alright, you guys ready for the second half of the Digimon card game US-Japan friendship match?
はい。前半戦に引き続き福井プロデューサーとカエルさんにも再びお越しいただいております。よろしくお願いします。なので後半戦の見どころをぜひ伺いしたいと思います。
So continuing from the first half, Fukui-san and Kyle-san have joined us on stage. So let's ask them what to look out for in the second half of
はい、
this.
それはまずじゃあ福井さんお願いします。
はい、前半戦1対1で折り返しているというところですね、後半も非常に熱いバトル、はい、参戦ありますので、お見逃しなくというか必ず見てくださいというところですかね。
はい、
Yeah,
ありがとうござ
more
い
to
ます。
look out for.
カエルさん。
Yeah, we saw some great matches, some heated matches in the first part. We're happy to have everyone participate, see this high-level play, and there's going to be some even hotter matches coming up, so don't miss out.
はい、それでは始めたいと思います。福井さんお願いします。
それではどうぞご覧ください。デジモンカードゲーム日米親善バトル後半戦です。
Let's start.
デジカ日米親善バトル後半戦、現在2試合を終えて1勝1敗。続く第3試合、日本代表3人目はカリンク。
いざ5人っていう大勢の中から選ばれるってなると、すごくやっぱり背負うものというのを勝手に感じているところだったんですけど、デジモン世代っていうのをすごいなんか熱くその表現できたらなと思って、まさに昔からその当時から好きだったガブモンのデッキを今日使えるんで、相棒と思って今日はバトル臨みたいと思います。
対するアメリカ代表3人目はマンノンアンリミテッド。
My play style is calculated aggression, and knowing what my opponent has in their deck statistically, and I try to push them to the limit. I want to keep my opponent on their back feet the entire game so that I always have the advantage. My play is to take my opponent down with one fell swoop. I want to take them down in one hit.
All right, let's get into our third match here. We're going to have Hika Link going up against Manon Unlimited. One of these guys going to be running Gabumon Blue. The other one going to be running Jesmon Red, a deck we have seen today. Let's take a look at what those decks look like.
All right, so this is Manon's Jesmon build. Of course, you know, a deck that is super powerful, having the Huckmon package and of course the Sister Mons that can bring you so much advantage in general. But it does play, you know, the Gallantmon there as a tech, but we see here on Hika Link's side running the Gabumon. East, tell us about this.
Yeah, so Gabumon is so strong, so fast. They get to the Gabumon Bond of Friendship, and they can swing potentially for 3, maybe 4 security sometimes. And the nice addition of the Puppetmon to stall out for an extra turn or potentially take the W is a nice tech by Hika Link.
Yes, I'm really a big fan of this. And also, you know, the Kendo Garurumon here as well is a really nice way to fight the mirror match if it does come up. So I think Hika Link has done a lot of really good preparation going into this event and fully teched out his list and embracing the Rookie Rush side of things. Let's go into this third match here. This is going to be very exciting between Hika Link and Manon Unlimited. So it's going to be a pretty wild match because both decks are so fast in what they want to do to bring into their win con, right? You know, if you're playing Gabumon, you're trying to just kind of like develop your board full of Gabumons, like go through your deck while disrupting your opponent's plays as well. And you know, people like to talk about the Gabumon list as, you know, there's many different ways to approach it. And one of the prominent ways is, of course, this Rookie Rush variant. And it looks like, you know, Hika Link, he's embraced the Rookie Rush side of things so much that he's even playing, you know, the Puppetmon, as we talked about earlier, which is commonly seen as that kind of like very signature Rookie Rush kind of play.
Yeah, I mean, he had a great opening turn there as well. Got to the Gabumon, got the Mat Tamer out, which is so important for getting your Gabumon. He's got a Gabumon in hand as well. And so now all the pressure here is on Manon to make something happen as soon as possible.
Yes, and we're definitely missing a particular card. I'm not seeing the Savior Huckmon here.
Uh-oh, yeah, or the, where's Jesmon? Hold on. Well, there's Sistermon to help draw out some cards, maybe. Also, for the folks watching at home, you know, this is the US-Japan friendship match, but I think I'm the only person keeping score, and it's 1-1 right now. So this is an important match for both the US and the Japan side to go up.
Yeah, like which side is actually going to kind of like take the tides here in this matchup to show, you know, which side of the world is the strongest here in Digimon cards at the same time. So of course here, modding up the Gabumon gets the extra memory plus the card draw, very vital in finding your pieces, and another Bond of Friendship.
He does have to make a decision. He's gonna decide to Digivolve here.
Okay.
So that's not gonna be a target for. Yeah, man, he's gotta find. He's got to find more rookies, man. He's only got the 1 in hand and just a ton of level 4s and level 7s.
Yep, that is absolutely true. You know, the one thing is, when you're playing this particular deck is also the timing at which you commit is very, very vital. But he's going to check the security here, gonna run into a Sistermon, which actually isn't bad for Manon either, because having a Sistermon in your trash also means that, you know, if you proc a Judgment of the Blade in security, that also means that you can immediately bring out the Sistermon, give yourself an extra card draw, or if it's the Sistermon CL, that also gives you an extra memory. And if your opponent has been a little bit greedy and, you know, sitting on 0, that basically just passes the turn right there, then and there.
Yeah, you're right. You've got to keep in mind just the option cards there being able to give you that immediate Sistermon plus some blockers. Looks like he's gonna play the Noir though. Wants to buff up that Bao Huckmon there.
Yep, and it can get pretty huge at the same time just by being just a level 4.
Man, Hika Link's board right now just gives me flashbacks to 1.5, where Rookie Rush was, you know, the king in town.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, seeing blue and green like that, and the Leomon that he plays is essentially just there to be like a cheap you know, it's a 2-drop with 5k DP. For level 3, that's really good because also, if you're playing in this format where there is, you know, a bunch of, you know, Gabubons and Agubons that, generally speaking, you know, their decks are all level 3s, level 4s, and level 7s, and then, you know, majority of that security stack is pretty safe when you're swinging in with 5k or more, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And so it looks like the Sword Strip here is going to get rid of the Demi-Meramon there. In fact, he's going to swing, though. Does Manon commit one of the Sistermon? No, this is going to let it go through security. What's it going to be? Ooh, Agumon, not big enough, buddy.
Yeah, unfortunately, a rookie that I'm sure he's going to miss going forward. But luckily, he does have one in hand. But, man, we just see here, Hika-Link is pushing the aggression. But we finally see a block here coming down from the Sistermon. So that is one less Sistermon on the board for Manon. But, of course, the effect of the Noir will still remain active. And the Howling Memory Boost will get rid of all Digivolution cards on Manon's side here.
That's unfortunate. And now Manon, you know, with only those 3 security left, is definitely on the back foot here. He's got to make something happen. He's got to find a way to get over that Octomon and that Leomon. That's terrifying. Oh, the Leomon, excuse me.
Alright, well, there is a rookie in Manon's hands that can continue to draw through. The only level 6 he has in hand is the Gallanmon, and like, especially not having the Savior Hugmon right now, he's just trying to find a level 5 of any sort. And so I think here he's going to try to go on the defensive. Manon is just starting to trade.
Okay, yeah, just going to trade out here, get rid of this guy. Again, when you're in that 3 security range, going up against Gabubon, any turn could be your last turn. If they can get to the Gabubon Bond of Friendship, then, I mean, that's a ton of swings and you usually don't live.
Yup, and so we have so much memory coming in on Hika-Link's side here too, right? Because we essentially have the +1 from raising the Gabumon here, and on top of that, the memory boost can be procced in addition to push him to 4. This might be the turn where things are already decided.
Uh-oh, let's take a look here. Yeah, you can see the Mat Tamer. There's some... Seems like it was a familiar feeling to him. The 3rd Gabumon drawn.
Yes, sir. Alright, Hika-Link, I think he knows what he might have to do. Just the question is, like, what's in the security for Manon? Because at this point, looks like he's going to start swinging, get the first security check with the Octomon here.
Let's see, and what's it gonna be?
The reveal, the grand reveal, 7,000 DP is not exactly the highest, but ooh, just the Hugmon. Would have loved to see that in hand.
Right, yeah. Looks like he's gonna default this into another Octomon, though.
Okay.
Gonna get over here.
Not to commit yet. Choosing to tiptoe, despite all the available plays he has. I think that's definitely a great way to go about it, you know, just like chip away at the security bit by bit.
Alright, second attack here coming out from the other Octomon. Gonna be... What's the check? Oh, so weak!
5-1.
Oh, this is rough. And keep in mind, Hika-Link does have 2 Lobomon in hand. He could opt to play the 2nd Mat Tamer there next turn just for the extra added insurance. What's it gonna be, though?
It's really, really rough. He's mulling over it. He's mulling over it. He has so many available plays, whether it's to commit to the Tamer, whether it's to commit a rookie. Looks like he is going to actually commit the rookie in order to get the search effect here and try to find either a hybrid or a Tamer. The Tamer does get found.
Yeah, all right. Stravimon doing his job. Showed up to work against the Sora Joe Tamer in hand, but at this point, I mean, you know, 3 swings. He's got the Lobomon in hand with the Mat Tamer on the board. He's got the Howling Memory Boost, the extra memory. Things are looking like it's gonna be Hika-Link's game.
Yeah, Manon still couldn't find a level 5. The Hugmon came a bit too late. That search effect would have been so welcome 1 turn earlier to find the Savior Hugmon for this turn, but was just not meant to be. But Manon, he's not out of it just yet. He's gonna swing into the security here to try and check it. Only 2,000. Gonna be just one of the many Gabumons of this deck.
Yeah, all right. Well, checks one security, gonna check the other one, I suppose. But after that, I don't really know what his plan is. You know, he's got level 6s, level 7s, level 4s, but no connective tissue in level 5s.
That's exactly right. Another Gabumon gets burned there from the security. And I think if you're Hikalink, you're gonna see this Huckmon come down and feel a little bit of relief, knowing that you are this close to cheating victory and putting the Japanese team 1 point ahead here.
Oh, great point there. Yeah, the Jesmon still comes, but again, there's still no level 5 with him, and I think he's just gonna Digivolve here and pass turn.
It hurts to see on Manon's side. He just could not find a way to bounce back. You know, could have potentially traded, you know, into the Octomons in some way, but with that, Hikalink already has 3 attacks on the board, not counting the hybrids, and this might just be game for Hikalink, putting the Japanese team ahead in a 2-1 in this set. But of course, one more security still remains. There could be something in there that could turn things around.
Yeah, you know, any of the removal cards, Red, known for having very powerful removal cards like Gaia Force, cards like Atomic Blaster. I mean, either of those now would be pretty good. Atomic Blaster might not be able to get over everything, but I mean, it would help.
That would certainly help, that's for sure, at the very least. But without any blockers on the board either, things are looking a little bit dangerous. And so we're going to see the security check come down here for Manon. What is going to be revealed? You can see he's praying the reveal to see if there's any hope of survival. Oh, the savior, Huckmon! Not like this, just like that though. Hikalink, he knows what he has to do. 1 attack remains to take another game for Team Japan in this set.
ちょっと相手の方の手札がノイズがあったのかなと思ったんですけど、しっかりバオハックでも、途中からアグロゲームに付き合ってきたんで、しっかり切り替えのあるプレーだったので、海外でもこうやってプレイヤーがしっかり強い方がいるっていうのをすごいこの対戦で感じました。はい。
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
It seems that both of our decks were stuck at a smaller level than what they were fully capable of, but obviously you were able to come out on top, and I look forward to more events to where we can play with other players from around the world and Japan directly.
ミニコーナー企画デジモンレポート。今回紹介するデジモンは
やはり大活躍だったオクタモン。
何者なんですかオクタモンって。なんかタコみたいなやつだなみたいなイメージしかないです。
こちら、ハッカーがライバルの探索コンピューターを破壊するために使用したウイルスから発見されたデジモンなんです。
ウイルスってことなんですか。
そうです。
じゃあもうこれでこうデータをこう
そうですそうです。
破壊するぞっていうことだ。
そんなイメージです。
で軟体だからいろんなところにも入っていけちゃうぞってことだ。
潜入もできると。
そういうやつなんだ。
縦横無尽なやつなんですよ。でさらにもっとこのデジモン深くて収集癖があるんですよ。
収集癖。
で触手の先端にはデビドラモンからデータで見つけた爪をつけて、でネットの海底から拾ったデジ砲っていう宝。
デジに宝とかデジ砲。こういう形で普段デジモンカードバトルとかでも注目されないようなカードが注目されたりとか、こうやっていろんな情報を入れるのはまた面白いですね。
面白いですね。
日米親善バトル第4試合。日本代表4人目は J2。
それ入ってるのみたいなカードをやっぱりこう何枚か差し込んでデッキを作ることが多いので、対戦相手の方にすごい面白い構築してるね、すごいねって言わせたいですね。たくさんの方の中から選んでいただいてますんで、代表ということで私自信持ってプレーできるように頑張りたいです。
対するアメリカ代表4人目はレイドバックラゴ。
I'm eager to see how people overseas, how good they are, especially in Japan, since they've already played this meta and they're revisiting it essentially since they're ahead of us. I want to see, you know, the difference really between the U.S. and everybody else. I do believe that we have some of the top Digimon players out there in the world. So, like I said, I'm excited, but I think we're gonna come up on top today. But once again, I didn't come here to lose.
All right, folks, let's get into our fourth match here. We're going to be having G2 running some really sick Tainomon purple deck. You see this card came out. It's got that nice little discard engine with the Kinkaku Promote, as well as the Ginkakumon and the Kinkakumon. Other cards like the Underworld's Call really allow the deck to just cycle very quickly and get to the cards you need as fast as possible.
Yeah, exactly. And this list contains a lot of cool control options as well. We see Death Claw as well as Fly Bullet to kind of take out some pesky targets on the opposing side of the field. And so really want to see how that's actually going to come up. Plus that Mastamon one-of is also really, really unique. But of course, we see on Lago's side here running Gabu Bond, and he has some interesting text in here as well. Like we see the Magnadramon that of course gives you a bit of a safety net, and on top of that, some really cool options too, like Kokuta's Breath, which gives you that huge sweep on the opponent's board, and the Rattle Star, which I personally really, really like. So I want to see how this can actually work out for Lago, because he's got so many cool choices that we don't really see that frequently in these Gabumon Bonds of Friendship lists.
For the folks watching at home, again, we are on our fourth match of the day. Japan is currently up 2 games, so this next match for the U.S. is so critical. Everything is on laid back Lago for this next one. Let's see how it turns out.
Game number 4 here between G2 and Laid Back Lago. This one is incredibly important for the US team, as we need him to, tie it up 2 for 2, as G2 here is trying to really, take the Japanese team further ahead. But Lago here is going to be starting off, and look at that hand! The triple Power Sword!
So that's a blessing and a curse, right? At any moment, whenever you just need 3 memory to play another rookie or just get some other effects out, then that's the way to do it. But it's card draw. You're missing, other level 3s, you're missing level 4s. So I'm interested to see how Layback Lago really pilots this hand here.
Yeah, like honestly, looking at Lago's hand, I'm like, man, the only card in his hand that is a Digimon, thank God that draws more cards, then he's not just passing on a handful of 5 options, right?
Yeah, looks like the purple memory boost coming out from G2's side. So he's gonna have to find and cycle through to his best cards as fast as possible. Going up against that Gabu Bond, purple usually wants to take its time, build up to his level 4s, get some cards in the trash, discard a couple of things. You don't have time with Gabu Bond. You gotta go hard and fast. Looks like he's gonna get to the Gidamon here. And what's he gonna close out with? Another Digivolve? Yeah, looks like it.
All right, that is gonna be the Kinkakumon Inbound.
Draw for turn.
So meanwhile here on Laidback Lago's side, he's got the Kindogurumon in waiting. The double Cordramon is nice though. He can often just spend 1 memory, one Hammer Spark here, and then play down the Cordramon, put his opponent at 3. But first we're gonna see the security check. What's it gonna be?
Ooh, Ginkakumon Promote is gonna trade here with that attack, and that is pretty good for G2. Like, we see Lago is starting off really aggressive here, but G2's like, no, calm down, we don't need to start that quickly. But this double draw for Lago is pretty good. He finds a rookie, thank goodness.
Oh, yeah, man, that Cordramon coming in clutch there. Meanwhile, here on G2's side, he's got to find a way to keep tempo on board, at least not let Lago build up too much momentum here. The Black Mechalo Growlmon is super nice, though. Digiburst allow him to pull something back.
Oh, that's a very powerful effect. Like, Leaf Card be used in so many different purple builds because of just how strong the Digiburst is.
And so, yeah, he Digi-bursted the 3 Digimon under him, and one of those was the Ghidomon, and now he can get that same Ghidomon back with the effect. They're going to spin the purple memory boost as well. Looks like we're going to be seeing another Digivolution. Yes, into the Titamon turn 2. Oh, excuse me.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is
Turn
such
2,
a
that's
strong
crazy.
tempo swing. That's so good for G2. Like he's definitely the one controlling the pace of the game here. You know, even though we said like Lago's playing Gabobon, it's a tough matchup. You know, it's definitely hard to keep up with it. But G2 is the one dictating the pace of the game here.
Yeah, so Titamon comes out. You can discard a card, pull back a level 4. He's going to pull back the Promote, whose effect allows him to pull back Ginkaku and or Kinkaku, put them under him. If he gets both, he gets special effects. Looks like he's only going to get one, though, so not going to get the buff of the card draw plus the memory boost.
We'll go into a Gabumon.
Back to Lago. He has the Gabumon at the very least to try and draw into more pieces, and he finds the bond of friendship. Thank goodness.
Yeah, all right, the Corgimon here gonna swing into security again, gonna be putting G2 at that critical 3 security that is so nice for Gabumon there. We're gonna see the hammer spark though. Okay. Oh, nice. Rattle Star to clear the board a bit. Looks pretty good. And there's 3 Digimon on your opponent's side of the board.
Okay. Yeah, but we can see he's definitely targeting that Titamon there. That is the most pesky target on G2's board by far.
You gotta keep in mind, Gabumon does have a couple of removal options. Laid Back Lago does include a couple more. The Rattle Star is a nice addition. If your opponent gets a little too familiar, starts to go wide, then you check them with the Rattle Star. Reduce the board a little bit. Ghidomon not going to survive the security swing, though. That's unfortunate.
Yep. Alright, going in with the... Oh.
Alright, Pro Mode here. What's it going to be, buddy? Alright, going to discard here. Didn't get the attack off for security.
Security check coming through.
Yeah, oh, Mechanorimon just good enough. Again, I talked about Layback Lago having a couple techs in the deck, and that is another one of the defensive options that he's got. It really feels like he was, trying to get ready for the mirror match, but it works out in all cases this way.
Yep, exactly. And it's like, look at how offensive both of these players have been so far. Like, they're both tied at 3 security each, just trading blows at this point and making sure that neither player can build up too much of their tempo. And honestly, if you give Lago a bit too much memory, that double hammer spark can really turn things around.
Yeah, again, that's that secret bomb that he's got waiting in his hands to just turn the tide if things get a little dire. Looks like he's gonna opt to spin one, though. Will he spin the other one?
Ooh. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, to go into the blocker without passing.
Really? Yeah, you don't really see the Grizzlymon in a lot of Gabumon builds here, so he's just biding his time until he can find the cards that he needs. He's been getting, all the sparks that are the Gabumons themselves, but he needs that Mat Tamer. He needs the Gabumon. Where are they at?
Here we go.
Man, he really just passed over 6 memory like that. That hurts.
Oh, didn't even spin the other hammer spark there. He's just gonna give 6 away to Purple. Purple can make things happen with memory like that.
Oh, yes, indeed. That's really dangerous. G2 might be able to make some pretty big moves here on this turn going into the Kinkagumon. How far will he keep pushing the stack?
Oh, going to the Rebellymon here. Gonna go to 1. Is he gonna opt to go into this Mastamon? He's also got the Titamon in hand as well, so...
Honestly, the Mastamon could be such a huge play. Like, this card has still seen so much competitive play to this very day. No matter how much the game evolves, Mastamon's effect is just so strong, being able to push out a yellow or purple level 4 lower from your trash for free, which is so strong with the kind of cards that these 2 colors have available to them. But he's going to go into another Titamon here, which of course is incredibly powerful too. And I think it's the level 6 that, again, it made Lago commit a lot of cards in order to make sure he could take it out last time. So now, how will Lago even deal with it, right?
Yeah, no more Rattlestar in hand. I mean, he could draw Kakaida's Breath, which would be, God draws, but looks like G's going to be pulling back another Pro Mode here.
Yup, coming in with a rush effect too. And it's definitely looking good for G2 so far.
Yeah, he's building the board back up again. You know, I really thought that he was going to be on the back foot, but it really feels like every turn he's just taking control.
Alright, Nago, you need to make the bounce back, but not seeing the Matt Tamer really hurts here. Like, that is quite literally what he has been looking for this entire game in order to actually have the bonds of friendship go online, and he's just not been finding it turn after turn.
All right, gonna just play out the Gabumon here just to get the card draw from the on-play effect. Again, he's searching, he's digging through that deck. Can he find his Matt Tamer? Ooh, that's not gonna be it, unfortunately.
Ooh, but wait a second. If G2 doesn't end the game this next turn, this could be a pretty nasty setup because he's got so many Digimon there at the ready. He gets a search here from the Davis. But I really want to highlight, like, look at this board right now, right? He's got things sitting there. He's got the Gabumon in the back. There's 3 security left, and he has a hybrid in hand, which is, I think, why he played down the Davis this turn, because I think he's actually just aiming to close things out next turn.
Maybe he wants to give the impression that he doesn't have anything crazy, but he does have that hybrid waiting in the ranks.
That is
The
right.
question is, can G2 finish the game this turn? This one's scary. Very stressful for G2, but he's somehow navigated these really crazy turns. All right, first swing.
Absolutely.
Here it goes.
Going in with a Kinkakumon promote.
Are we going to see the Grizzly Mob block
This
here?
one's important.
Gabumon Trap.
Alright, the promote using its ability here.
Yeah, I'm going to send back, get rid of the level 3, excuse me. Block or security? What's it going to be? Looks like it is going to be security.
Right, doesn't get checked or not. We're safe. Still in.
Yeah, safe. I mean, it'd be nice if it was a Matt Tamer, right?
Oh, absolutely. Wait, but actually I'm thinking, so all the Titanmon swings with 2 security, but is there a way for G2 to close out this turn? I don't feel like there is. Am I missing something?
Yeah, I don't think he... Whoa! 14,000 check. Well, Titanmon, not gonna get those 2 security checks now, so...
Okay.
Pretty good.
Well, we can forget that second security check. That's gonna just stop at 1 there. Lago's still hanging in as much as he can.
Yeah, you can see he's saying, where's my Matt? Where is he? I can't find him. All right, here. So to close out, looks like G's going to just play the purple memory boost. Get a bit more memory for the later turns.
Of course, the search here, very important. Another Titanmon is found here as well. Of course, he does have the Mastamon already in hand, so he's going to choose to go with the level 5 here instead. As I think, you know, if you're G2, you've got plenty of plays to back it up. You know, his hand is definitely able to try and secure lethal, and especially if this can stick around, like if this Rebellion actually sticks around, he can go into a Mastamon and just close out.
That is true, yeah. One security left on layback Longo's side. He's got to make something happen next turn. All right, the Rebellion here. Digivolves.
Yep, that is
Gotta get rid of that Lucky Mon there.
Yep, use the effect.
Now it's
good.
Retaliation if they run into it, so.
I will draw for return.
Yes.
Gotta be careful. What does layback Lago get here on this turn? Is it Matt? No, it's another Hammer Spark though. But this might be all she wrote. Hold on.
That's the 4th one, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so let's see the
right.
first security check. Nothing crazy, nothing crazy. No, gotta be a Gajimon.
Let's security check Gabumon.
Alright, Gabumon coming in. This is exactly what we talked about earlier. He has the hybrid that could close things out. Gabumon, just a measly 1000 DP, is gonna get checked, but only 1 security remains.
Oh, I like this, yeah, just in case, just in case. He's swinging with Grizzlymon here is going to put him
from attacking.
Yeah, going to put him at the memory deficit from the attack. Let's see, what is it going to be? What is it? Oh, it's not enough!
That's not enough. And with that, Lago can come in with the hybrid and just go over and swing for the last attack and actually tie up the series 2-2.
Yeah, that was. I believe it was definitely a back and forth game. As you can see, I have 1 security. They have 0 security. I wasn't able to find my mat, so that was unfortunate. I wasn't able to unlock the full potential. But you know, it's difficult for purple Titamon to deal with the pressure that blue deals out. Plus the check, I got lucky as well. His Titamon hit into my Gabumon bond of friendship and security.
あと最後についても相手のデジモンとかを除去しきれなかったんですごい悔しいですね。はい。
You know, I hope we could continue playing, you know, sometime in the future again, or we'll meet again somewhere.
リベンジマッチで。オッケーオッケー。
I'll see my world.
Yes, yes, もちろん。
面白かった。
なんか僕個人的に、あんまりこう手札を見ないように、こうちょっと試合を見てる。最後のラゴのプレイングというか、巻き返しちょっとびっくりしました。
持ってたかって感じでしたね。
いるじゃん。これもみたいな形でした。
ミニコーナー企画デジモンレポート。今回紹介するデジモンは
ラゴさんが使ってたコアドラモンね、ブロッカーであったりだとかね、でまた再録されて登場時効果があったりだとか
2枚ドローできるとかね、
ドラモンってつくデジモンって結構多かったと思うんですけども、
多いですね。
でこれらのドラモンってつくのにはデジコアに必ず流因子のデータを有しているんですよ。
ああ、流因子を持ってるんだこう。
ドラのドラって流なんですね。
なるほど、ドラゴンのドラみたいなことだ。
でその流因子のデータの割合が高ければ高いほど体の形状が竜型になっていくっていう設定なんですよ。でこのコアドラモンが流因子データ割合が 100%。純血。
こいつが
もうそれでしかない。
コアドラモンって竜なの？
竜ですね。まんま竜ですね。
もっと強くていいんじゃない？
そうですね。
でもその流因子データっていうのは面白いですね。これからドラモンがつくカードとか出たら、こいつは流因子何パーなんだろうとかちょっと気になってきますよ。
確かに。
ちょっと面白い。
次にG2さんが使ってたリベリモン。
リベリモン。
これですよ。高出力のエンジンを搭載したサイボーグ型デジモン。
なんかバイクみたいな形してますね。
それです。で死の淵に追い込まれたデジモンが周囲にジャンクデータを取り込んで進化したみたいな設定なんですよ。
死の淵みたいなとこから道連れがつくのかもしれないですね。効果で。
そうです。
ちょっと面白いですねそれ。やっぱ知った方がいいですよ原作のこういう設定みたいな。僕ぐらいですかこんなに知らないの。
デジカ日米親善バトル。ここまで4試合を終えて結果は2勝2敗。決着は最終戦へ。日米親善バトル第5試合。日本代表ラストは氷。
女性プレイヤーってそんなにやっぱ男女比男性と比べて多い方ではないかなっていうふうには思うんですけれど、公式で活躍もできるよっていうことを伝えて、やりたいことをやりきって勝ちたいなっていうふうに思います。
対するアメリカ代表ラストはトレイマリン。